In today's video, we're going to be doing a review of the Savage helicopter. So starting off with the basics, the Savage helicopter is an attack helicopter and it can be purchased from Warstock cash and carry. But do note that it is a Pegasus vehicle, but you can actually store this in your hangar. But you can't really add anything or do anything with the Savage helicopter apart from, well, changing its color. Anyways, enough with that. Let's now move on to the review and, well, let's talk about how this helicopter performs. So one thing that you immediately notice after, well, flying the helicopter is it is a big helicopter, and on top of that, when it comes to the performance, it does hinder it a bit, actually a lot. Anyways, talking about the size of the helicopter, it does affect its performance. For example, the acceleration of the Savage helicopter is actually quite slow. It takes its own speed time to get up from the ground into the air, and after that it is very slow to accelerate to its top speed. And it is very noticeable if you're used to flying the Sparrow or the Akula. So when it comes to the acceleration, it is a bit lackluster, so thumbs down for that. Next up, the top speed. Honestly, nothing to write home about and nothing to complain about. So yeah, I have nothing to say here, but it is average. And next up, we move on to the handling, and this is where it actually really suffers. And like I said earlier, it's huge and it's bulky, and because of that, it is very slow when it comes to taking corners and turning. Let's say, for example, the Sparrow is the Italy G2O. You can compare the Savage helicopter to the MOC, because that's exactly how it feels. It takes forever to turn, and going in and around buildings or just, well, turning in general takes a lot of time, and because of that, it is really bad and below average. So when it comes to the handling, I'd say that it is pretty poor. So all in all, I'd say the performance of the Savage is below average. And next up to what the Savage actually does pretty well, and that is the weapons test. And the Savage helicopter has two main weapons, and they are the explosive cannons and the homing missile. So first up, let's talk about the explosive cannons of the Savage helicopter, and honestly, I can tell you guys, this is one of the best explosive cannons in the entire game. It shoots super duper fast, like a minigun or even faster, and well, since they are explosive rounds, you get what I'm trying to say. And if you don't, let's just say it can destroy anything, even a tank, in less than a second. And because of that, the explosive cannon of the Savage helicopter is just amazing. But it does have one little problem though, and that is the range is not that great. So you would have to get quite up and close to the target before, well, gunning it down. And because of that, you'd have to be a very skilled pilot to do so without, well, killing yourself. Anyways, moving on to the homing missiles. They are unlimited homing missiles, and just like any other homing missile of any helicopter or jet, they are pretty bad. They do get the job done when it comes to homing into cars, but when trying to target aerial vehicles such as jets or helicopters, it is very bad. So honestly, I really don't have much to say about the homing missiles. I really like the fact that they are unlimited, but at the same time, I hate that they, well, suck when it comes to homing or chasing the target, in simple words. Oh, and one more thing when it comes to the weapons test. It's not really that the Savage has this weapon, it's just that if you have a friend, you can easily make them sit at the back and, well, they can use a gun and shoot anyone they like. So yeah, a little bonus, so to speak, but nothing that major or game breaking. So yeah, when it comes to the weapons test, that is about it. And yeah, now let's move on to the durability test of the Savage helicopter. And honestly, it is pretty average. You need 2 homing missiles or 2 RPGs to blow it up. And well guys, that is honestly about it for the Savage helicopter. So it is a pretty big helicopter. It looks very good and very intimidating. But again, because it is big and bulky, it also does affect the handling quite a bit. So all in all, just to sum it up, the Savage helicopter is a good looking helicopter. It has an amazing explosive cannon, but it does lack range however, and it is quite slow when compared to the other helicopters. And well, from that we now come to the big question, and that is it worth it? And well, I must say no, it is not. Although it looks very good, I hate to say this, but it is not worth it at all. There are way better helicopters for this price range. And on top of that, it does not have any special tricks up its sleeve. Like for example, the Ukula has stealth mode. And don't forget the Hunter, which is basically the best attack helicopter in the entire game. So yeah, if you're going to buy a helicopter, I'd recommend you guys to skip this and just go for the Hunter or the Ukula, because those two helicopters are just way better than the Savage helicopter. And honestly, with that, we come to the end of the video. I hope you liked the video, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment down in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel. It will really help me out a ton. And of course, if possible, do even share. It will help me out even more. And well, with that, I guess I'll see you guys next time.